What is up to the Passel of Possums? We are Offensive Points, and we are here on Fantasy Six Pack Network. Today we have Week 5 game previews for you, so make sure you don't have any Steelers, Bears, Packers, or Falcons in your lineup because we have our first week of buys. Hooray! And before we get going, can we take please take a moment of silence for the people we've lost this week or last week? Hopefully none this week, but we lost Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, Bucky Irving, Lamar Jackson, and the list goes on and on. So take a quick moment of silence.
AJ Brown's still there technically.
Just kidding.
He apologized.
He apologized.
AJ Brown is still playing. That's my bad.
He apologized for his action. The man has anxiety. All right, everyone deals with it from time to time. Calvin really took off a year. Like let's let my man go, who's just wanting to play ball. No, this is gonna be a strange week, and I have gotten some strange offers. I got Jamar Chase offered to me for Amarion Hampton. I can't do it, unfortunately, because I have Bucky Irving in that league, and I don't have another running back. Would love to, honestly. I know that it's ugly, and we'll get into that in a little bit with game previews, but I've had Ashton Genty on several people trying to get Ashton Genty for me for nothing. And I just want to take this as a brief PSA. Don't be the guy that offers someone for their – and I understand picks don't matter anymore, but do not try to offer Jerry Jeudy and trash for Ashton Genty. That's not it. Don't be the guy who offers. Now, if you want to lowball someone with Jamar Chase or underperforming stars like AJ Brown, understandable. But the man who just scored 3 touchdowns and you're like, yeah, you know what? I do want him on my team now. I'm going to try to trade some bench players for him. At least put someone in there, I don't know, like Breece Hall or something along those lines, someone equivalent to could be a running back 1 or 2, and make it a better trade. Don't be the guy who's just fishing trades, because this is a great time for trades with all the uncertainty going on, all the injuries coming in. It's just this is a weird time for everyone, and don't try to. You're not going to get someone to accidentally accept a trade. That's not happening. It's just wild to me when I get those trades, because I'm excited every time I see a trade. I see it and I go, oh, cool, what is this? And then I look at it and I go, are you fucking kidding me? That's not
It's funny how they waited till Ashton Genty scored 3 touchdowns to send the trade. When last week, how many questions from people we know did we answer about putting Ashton Genty in your lineup? Because the Bears can't stop anybody on defense. Yeah. It's funny.
And
but now that he goes off, it's let's try to get him on our team. The goal is to get him on your team before that happens.
Yeah, and that's another thing is, for me, I'm always targeting those players who are struggling because I'm going to get a better deal on them. Why would you try to get a good deal on someone who just broke out? You're not going to. I'll trade Genty. I have no problem with that. It's no issue for me. You got to give me something in return. Achan, something I don't know, a equivalent running back. Same ball.
All the Twitter experts that had already thrown the massive amount of dirt on this rookie running back class because they're like, oh, I thought this was supposed to be generational. What happened? Looks like a bunch of dumpsters to me out there. And it's like, well, how about this week where Quinshawn goes off, Genty goes off, Hampton goes off? How about that? Henderson scores a touchdown. Oh, interesting how it took maybe a couple of weeks for rookies to get acclimated to the NFL.
Or just enough carries to start with. You give 11 carries to Ashton Genty, and all of a sudden he's not scoring 3 touchdowns. And you're like, why is that? Anyway, we'll get into all this and more. I just want to get.
We go through this every year. It's always the first month of the season is sloppy, and nothing is, it's the upside down. It's Stranger Things. Nothing's the way it's supposed to be. And then everything casually writes its way the way it's supposed to be. We just gotta let these guys play some football first, A couple drives in the preseason is not practice.
No. And look at the teams who did go out and play the whole time. Cincinnati Bengals were one of those teams. And I'm not saying that that had anything to do with Joe Burrow's injury, but it doesn't help. They were sloppy to start the year as well. It's just, it is what it is. This is just getting acclimated to playing football every week and having 1 week off for 18 weeks in a row, So, but it's going to be a weird week all around. We got a lot of people coming in here that are now startable, ? I don't know. I don't know. Anyone else got anything else they want to talk about till we get into there?
No.
Good time to right your ship.
It definitely is. So as we turn the page to week 5, this is kind of where you win where you can potentially win your championships, because week 4, week 1 through 4, you're just playing your stars. You're playing your studs. You're not really thinking about it. You're not really hitting the waiver wire that much unless you're making tweaks here and there. But this is where we actually we have bye weeks and we have massive amounts of injuries. So this is where this kind of a podcast between us three, like this is where we end up winning our leagues because of weeks like this where you can take advantage of maybe where your league mates might be asleep at the wheel. This is where you can take advantage and get their ship righted, especially if you're 1-3, 2-2. This is the week where you can start getting back on track. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully you won your waiver wires. There's plenty of it. There's plenty of, between the three of us, we had tons of battles in leagues trying to get players on our team.
Joe snagged 2 in one league. I had 3 waiver wire moves in, and 2 of them were defensive, and he took one of my defense and my offensive choice. So appreciate it.
You got Cedric Gray, though, so
I did get Cedric Gray, but I also dropped
17 tackles
2 years ago, and I was like glad to have him back. You know, you don't play, and this is a great time to. If you don't play IDP, play IDP. It's so much more fun. You can your game could come down to a linebacker and a safety battling in Monday Night Football, and that is just there's nothing dirtier than that. You're like, was that number 22? Because sometimes you're like, what number is he? I don't even know. I don't see him enough, you know?
No.
I'm playing some stats here.
I saw a lot of waiver wire money go flying out of people's budgets this week. It was pretty heavy week for the budgets to go flying out. But
so
anyway,
in the Kings Classic, I have $400 of my $800 budget going out this evening. So this will be out on Thursday, so I'm totally comfortable sharing that. But I'm spending some money right now.
Good, Joe. You know it's going to burn a hole in your pocket. You don't want to end the season with half of your fab budget just sitting in there, and you're like, damn, I should have bought so and so to try to get back in the season.
Yeah, spend that money
for sure. All right, let's get week 5 underway here. We have a pretty rough one to start Thursday night here. So it's the Rams versus the 49ers. Joe, who on the 49ers, other than Christian McCaffrey, is playing in the football game? I think maybe me and you might even get a call up. Maybe Josh's quarterback. I don't know. Maybe,
Yeah, I told him I couldn't make it. Here. So, you got Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson as your starting wide receivers as of right now, with Pearsall and Juwan Jennings out. I don't trust the tight ends. We've seen them flip-flop quite a bit. I kind of like Kendrick Bourne. I kind of like Kendrick Bourne here. Last time Mac Jones played, he got 6 targets. He played the most snaps out of anyone who wasn't Pearsall or Juwan Jennings last week. I'm not saying if you're in a 12-man league to start Kendrick Bourne, but if you are in a deep league, you could do worse than throwing Kendrick Bourne in your flex, and he's absolutely in play in daily.
Tonjes, or however you pronounce his name, Tongs, I think he's absolutely startable. For what we have here, we have 4 teams, 2 of which who have tight ends that are on bye right now. Like Tucker Kraft if you had Tucker Kraft, you probably didn't have a backup tight end. You know what I mean? Like I think Tonjes can be started. Yeah. He's tight end 15 on the year. There's no one else in this. Like Kendrick Bourne outside of McCaffrey is the only person I really want to start in this game because it's looking ugly, man. Like I feel like if this game would have been really fun had any one of, well, maybe not Jennings, but had Pearsall or Purdy played, like I'd be excited about this game. But now it's just gonna be the Christian McCaffrey show plus extras, and Mac Jones will hopefully find someone. But I think Tonjes is actually startable. I know he's a bit tight, touchdown dependent, but I think he can fill in pretty well if you're in a tight spot this week, which more than likely you are, with 4 bye weeks and several injuries all coming down. And not to mention, we don't even know if there's going to be more coming in the future. So, not saying I'm excited about it, but I'm just saying I think he can be started.
The Rams defense is pretty gettable. I know that like last week, Daniel Jones made it look like they were, a really, really good defense. But I mean, A.D. Mitchell nearly had like a 75-yard touchdown that got called, because he let go of the ball at the 1-yard line. That was unfortunate. But like Tyler Warren 8, Michael Pittman 8. Like there was, a lot of people getting. Jonathan Taylor did well. So this isn't necessarily like a lockdown Rams defense. It's still able to get it out there. It's just a matter of like, do you trust Mac Jones to get the job done here with Sky Moore potentially? Like that's where you're kind of sitting at. I think this is a kind of game that like you wish you didn't have somebody on the rate or 49ers playing, but you might have to based on bye weeks and injuries. But I think you potentially could get some decent points out of this from a guy that you didn't expect. DFS is going to be a bloodbath just based on the names that could potentially win you a DFS matchup.
Dude, the winning lineup's going to have one of these weird names in it.
I guarantee it's going to be like Tonjes as the little like captain or whatever for the 1 game lineups. I'm sure it's going to be something weird like that. Flipping to the Rams. Good job winning your first 4 games if you had Puka Nacua. That dude is on an absolute tear. He is 100 yards better than any other wide receiver this year. He doesn't score a ton of touchdowns, which is kind of unfortunate, but he has 2 rushing touchdowns, which is made up for it. But the receiving touchdowns is the only thing that, like, if he had that piece, might as well be Jamar Chase out there.
He doesn't even need touchdowns. Like, he's Trey McBride of his position right now, where he didn't even need a touchdown. He's still killing it. Like, no, it is amazing. He's single-handedly kept me afloat in a last man standing, which is a guillotine league. So appreciate that.
42 catches through 4 weeks is asinine.
It's insane. 15 targets last game. 15 targets.
We really thought Devontae Adams was going to have a bigger role. I think we were all worried about drafting Puka in the first round, which if you look at the first round, I understand our fear. You got Brian Thomas, Ladd McConkey kind of slipped out of it. Neighbors, who was struggling mightily before the injury. So, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, I get why we were worried, but we should have just known that this guy's generational, and he clearly has a connection with Stafford. Now, Devontae Adams isn't a slouch. He's perfectly fine too. Good news about the Rams is who you're starting. You got your top 3, and Stafford's a flex play at quarterback. I mean, you're not excited about it, but he did do it last week. That Atwell 80-yard touchdown helped out of it, 60 yards.
I will say I'm not over the moon worried, but I'm slightly worried about Kyron, just slightly, because
really because of the quorum touches.
Well, not only that, because of like fumbles. Like he's had some pretty devastating fumbles this year, and I'm not saying that he's gonna, don't need to bench him, don't need to trade him, whatever. Like I wouldn't say panic, but I've definitely got my eye on, like, I don't know if this guy's gonna have workhorse numbers for the whole season. Like I think we might see a little bit more of Corum, even though Corum hasn't looked great. So I wouldn't say that he's been a slam dunk fill.
I disagree. Corum's looked good in his limited role. I mean, 5 yards per carry. You can't complain about that. I mean,
yeah.
It is as a spell back, it's a little different because nobody's really guarding when you're in. Like they're like, okay, well, we're not going to worry as much. But yeah, no, I mean, I think the whole Kyron being the only running back on the team is over, but I don't think his reign is over. I think it's just going to be.
It's just something I got my eye on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, this might be
something to monitor.
It is definitely.
If he does see his playing time tick down a little bit, like if he's in the doghouse for a couple weeks, trade for him. And then the end of the season when it gets cold
definitely
out,
that
golden.
Well, that's more what I'm saying. I'm thinking like maybe if he has another subpar week, which the 49ers don't have much to stop him with, but if he does, might be a great trade target because I do think eventually it's going to swing back in the favor of Kyron. Just, might be a little growing pains right now. You might be able to buy a smidge lower than you normally would on him.
We haven't seen a head coach fired yet, but I know we've talked about this before. We need to fire that medical staff, just all of it. Start over.
For 49ers? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, for the 49ers. It is just rough, man. How do you lose
it's been a decade player? At this point.
Every single star except for McCaffrey is out right now.
Yeah,
and I guess
would be dangerous going to play there.
I guess Fred Warner.
Fred Warner. Well, I mean, knock on wood, but I mean that one might be coming. Well, that one's on me. I should have known that was going to happen.
Knock.
Who do you think is going to win, 49ers or Rams?
Rams,
I think so.
Clear cut.
For sure.
All right, then we're going to go across the pond. Right? It's across the pond, right?
Got the Vikings and the Browns in London, huh?
Yeah. My bad.
Okay, sorry. You made a face, but I assume it was for your dog barking, going crazy.
Love Vikings,
that. See, we're a dog-friendly podcast. It's just sometimes when you knock, your dog will start barking. So, man. So what's up with the
proverbial wood next time?
The Vikings having to stay abroad kind of is weird. Like, I mean, I'm sure it probably helps them in a way being on the same time zone, but like that's gotta suck for those people and their families. I kind of hate that for them.
They probably made a trip out of it.
Yeah, it is true. Hopefully they brought the wives and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like they'd almost have to. All right. Well, coming into this game, the Vikings looked not great last week against the Steelers. It made the Steelers look like their defense was as good as it has been in the past, even though this year Justin Fields carved them up. So I do think this should be a bit of a bounce back, but kind of feeling defensive struggle here with these two teams. We got Dylan Gabriel starting his first game for the Browns. Josh, what are you looking for in the Browns this week?
Just Quinshon Judkins. Also, actually, well, I mean, everyone's excited about Quinshon at this point. I mean, we now know that he is a star, right? Like we now know that the rookie running backs in this class are great. But the thing I'm most excited about, honestly, I'm going to retract my previous statement. I'm looking forward to Jerry Jeudy having a chance to be what he was last year. Now, I know that didn't come with Dylan Gabriel or a rookie quarterback, but Joe Flacco was not looking for him. He had 4 or 5 targets every game. It was looking just kind of mid, and even if he was catching the ball, it was just not the right route for him. So I don't know if the play calling is the issue or if it was just Flacco not being able to utilize Jeudy the correct way, but I'm hoping that we get a resurgence there. We do get Isaiah Bond too for the first time, which will be interesting. He had a lot of I don't know what it is about the Cleveland Browns and people with criminal backgrounds, but he had another issue. He had an issue there to start the draft process. So that'll be interesting. With didn't Tillman hit IR?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that he's the de facto number 2 at the moment, and then of course the 2 tight ends. So. But it'll be interesting to see who his favorite target is. I'm hoping Jeudy at least gets a little bit of a bump. I mean, it can't really go down, right?
Can't be
I
worse.
share your optimism on Jerry Jeudy here because Dylan Gabriel coming into this year when we were doing all the rookie stuff, he's basically your game manager type. He's really effective against zone defenses. He's going to kind of work down shorter passes and stuff, and that's something that I think Jerry Jeudy can do pretty well in this offense. So we might see the Jerry Jeudy show. We might see, Fannin and Njoku get involved. But it is cool to see Isaiah Bond come out and, sign as an undrafted guy and then essentially just come right in, and now he's starting. But we actually saw Jamari Thrash come in and have the biggest snap count when Tillman went down, but Isaiah Bond got all the targets. So that's definitely something to monitor going into this week because, Billy is a guy, he's been saying, Jamari Thrash is good. We've been on Jamari Thrash. We've been on Isaiah Bonds. We just have to see how this team shakes out with Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, and Fannin
I
has more targets than
I think it
Njoku,
might be
so.
Isaiah Bond. I think Isaiah Bond might be the guy. I think Isaiah Bond might be the guy I thought Jamari Thrash was going to be for this team. They do play a very similar style of ball. Isaiah Bond just might be a little bit better. And again, he would have gone high in the draft if it wasn't for the legal stuff. So this isn't like a out of nowhere guy, really. This is just a guy that, had some unfortunate stuff happen, and now he's starting. He would have been a potential like 3rd rounder maybe as wide receiver before that. So
make sure he's not on waivers because he's still on waivers quite a bit of places.
Especially if you have spots that are just sitting there or you have IR spots that you need to put people in, like that's a guy to definitely stash because he could play a big role for this offense going forward, at least for a little while.
I saw him picked up a lot of places too.
I for sure. Definitely did. Flipping to the Vikings for a second. Carson Wentz threw for 350 yards, so I don't want to sweep that under the rug. However, it did look a little rougher this time around. Couple picks, 6 sacks, like it fumbles, like it didn't look great. However, I do think that I like his connection with Jordan Jefferson. Addison came back, was very seamless with him, so I think that was good. The one I want to talk about with you guys was the Xavier Scott thing. Do we think that was just a flash in the pan, or is there a legitimate competition here for him getting real snaps?
The Vikings are a big fan of this two-person backfield. I had no idea who Xavier Scott was until this game.
Me neither.
So
had no idea.
I'm starting to wonder. There's no rushing upside at the moment, so I don't know if that's going to become more of a split. But the 38% snap percentage is pretty decent. He really came in right after Aaron Jones got injured. 28% snap percentage the week before. It's going up, and after 40 yards and a touchdown, that's going to be something where. You got to at least monitor. I know he got picked up pretty much everywhere. That was one of the guys Joe sniped from me. Proud of you, buddy.
Proud of that catch he had in that end zone was sick. I know he was wide open, but getting the feet in was sick. And I don't know. I just think that goes back to Jordan Mason does not catch the football. He looked okay last game catching the football, but they clearly want to use Knight in that role. Or not Knight, Scott. I still got Bam Knight on my mind.
Bam Knight. Yeah. We'll get into Bam later.
Big Bam Knight guy. Yeah, and then like TJ Hawkinson, I think it was just not the right game for him to be good. The Steelers cover tight ends pretty well. So I will say
at least Hawkinson
by that.
At least Hawkinson's catching the balls with Wentz. He was not catching anything with JJ. It's about equivalent targets, 6'5", 3'4", but it's like at least he's catching these. I'm excited about that because the Hawkinson, he should be utilized more. But now that Addison's back, I'm a little bit worried about his stock in general.
It's not great.
And Cleveland's defense is, I mean, Mark Andrews had 2 yards. Tucker Kraft had 29 yards, and Laporta had 3 for 39 against this defense. So I think asking Hawkinson to really be a hero for your team this week is asking a lot.
I dropped Hawk in the league, but just because he's got a bye next week, I was like, I'll get him back if he does good enough.
Yeah, no one's picking him up after this week.
Yeah. The Browns not doing a bye after this week is kind of interesting. They're coming right back from London and getting right back to it next week. So
I feel like Minnesota deserves a bye after this, though. They were gone for 2 weeks.
Definitely so. Yeah. 2 weeks in overseas, which is just crazy. They have to go from one country to a different country just to play another football game.
So I got one question. Is Addison's just immediately startable now? I know, Billy, you said he was startable last week, but at this point, 100 yards, like with Wentz.
Well, here's the thing. As long as Wentz is playing, I think these guys are good to go. It's when JJ comes back that I'm starting to get nervous about this offense. Like, that kid can't play. Like, I love the Minnesota fan base on Twitter, and I'm glad that we have a certain number of analysts out there that are just, like, breaking down the deep dive numbers of JJ McCarthy. But, God, like, can we be real? We're watching the same games, right? Like, we know one guy looks like he can throw the ball and run this offense. The other looks like he does not need to be out there right now again. Like, he obviously got hurt last season. Probably didn't need to be playing last season either, but, like, they were going to do it. This feels about the same way. Like, I would trust Darnold in this more than I trust JJ. So until he comes back, I think these guys are all good to go.
I'm starting to give Darnold a little bit more credit. I don't think it was his fault.
100%. I think that the Darnold was made by, which maybe he just takes it from O'Connell, but, like, he looks really good. So, like, I don't know if that's an O'Connell thing that's instilled in him or he's just finally broken out. But
they talked about on the, Thursday night broadcast last week where he basically, like, how Baker had his McVay moment that got him over the hump of, whatever. And I think Kevin O'Connell really did get Addison or get a wow. Yeah. My guy.
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Darnold, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus.
All good.
It's been a long day.
I think the Vikings win this game. I think they at least split the overseas series for themselves.
Yeah, probably. I'd love to see Gabriel come out and win it, but
it would be cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it wasn't Gabriel starting and, like, this wasn't his first start, I'd say they win this game because I think Cleveland's gonna win a lot of these weird games just because their defense is so good and their offense just has to be just that good enough. But I'll give Gabriel a loss in his first game.
Well, eventually Quinshawn's going to come on here. Like, obviously he's still doing great, but I'm saying, like, it's going to be like him running the offense, and then all the quarterback has to do is make a play, 1 or 2 plays a game that would make this over the top. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to start this week, though. The Vikings defense pretty good. All right. Let's move on to the noon window. We have the Texans versus the Ravens. This is literally the worst offense against literally the worst defense. So don't really know how this one's going to go. Nico's got a questionable tag that he picked up today. The entire Ravens team looks like it's in shambles. Who do we feel good about this game, guys? Like, I'll pitch it to you guys. Who are you feeling good about playing in this?
I wrote this note down previously to Lamar's injury, but I think it still stands. I think we just need to remember that if the Ravens aren't winning a game, Derrick Henry is not going to do well, like, fantasy wise. You're not going to get much out of him. Like, sadly, we saw the Justice Hill blow up during the Chiefs game, and people are probably going to rush to go get him. And it's like, if they're winning a game, Henry does fine. And I assume they'll probably put a lot on his shoulders just this game. I know he at least finally has a game without a fumble. That's great and very helpful to the team. But they're losing these games right now, and they need to be winning these games because this team is way better than that. Even without Lamar Jackson, they should be winning these games with the cast that they have. Now, Derrick Henry, I think, is fine. Obviously, that's the one person I'm actually fine with seeing in a starting role. But everyone else, outside, like Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, I think I'm benching both of them. Zay's been kind of hit or miss as it is, and then Mark Andrews.
Cooper Rush is bad, and this Houston defense is pretty good.
Now, I feel like someone's going to be like, well, Zay Flowers ended up doing fine. I'm like, yeah, but, like, do you really want to take that risk? I mean, if you're in a scenario where you are dealing with all the injuries or the bias, 100% put Zay Flowers in. Do not bench him for something stupid. But if you have better options, like I think even like we just discussed Jerry Jeudy, like I'd be fine with putting Jerry Jeudy in over him right now. Like that's a good comp to what I would be like. I want to see Dylan Gabriel play with him before I want to see Zay Flowers play with Cooper Rush.
I do think I think you're right, but I have been doing the gymnastics in my head on this one. I think Zay Flowers could actually have a pretty productive game with Cooper Rush, just because Cooper Rush fed CD, and I think that they kind of can play a similar role in this offense or in their respective offenses. But Houston's been stingy. I mean, Puka's really the only wide receiver that's done a whole lot against them, but I think that he knows that Zay Flowers is the best guy on this team and is going to throw him the football a lot.
Comparing
I just feel
CD
like the
Lamb
matchup
to
is
Flowers is rough work, Joe.
Rough work. They kind of play the same role. I mean, CD is a much better player.
Flowers and CD Lamb.
Come on, guy.
Are you going to argue with me that they don't play the same role?
He's not saying Zay Flowers is CD Lamb.
Yeah, but like it's easy to feed CD. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. Zay Flowers is not.
Zay Flowers.
But if you're Cooper Rush, you got to feed someone.
You got to feed. You have to feed someone. That part is true. I just like. Are we going to get the same production? I don't think so.
If I were Cooper Rush, I'd be like, can Hopkins play the entire time? Just so like, because what's he playing? Like 20-30% snap share? Like, can I be like, can I get Hopkins in there for like 60% of the time? Like, I just want one dude who I can just know that if I get in trouble, I'll throw it to him and he'll catch it.
I don't know if he can hold up for an entire game.
I don't think he can either, but it'd be nice.
I'm excited about Woody Marks.
Woody Marks.
Woody
Marks is back. Like, are finally here. Like this has been kind of wild. He played at USC last season. It was kind of a not like a committee almost at USC with him. But he's really like come out here and shown something for the Houston Texans. Kind of been like one of the only bright spots on this entire offense, other than kind of Nico. But other than that, it's been kind of a rough work. But yeah, I think finally hit Woody Marks is startable. I mean, of course, I think.
The wild thing
Ravens
is
don't stop anybody.
Nick Chubb hasn't even been doing bad. He's been doing fine. And Woody Marks still went out there. And that's how, if anything, that just shows how bad CJ Stroud has been. That they need to lean on this double duality of a run game. Because we got 15 touches and 21 touches. Like, their two running backs have 36 touches total. Like, that's wild. And it's not like, well, I mean, they did kind of hand it to Tennessee, but I don't know. I'd love to see Stroud play better, honestly, all around. Nico's struggling.
I think
like, obviously
everybody would
like
do that.
Yeah.
This is going to be a big Nico game. Huge Nico game against the Ravens.
If he plays, that is.
Well, he did the same thing last week. He popped up with his knee injury, and then he practiced. I think it was just a rest day more than anything.
That's fair.
It is something to monitor. No, I know.
To be out there.
Yeah, no. Wednesdays are rest days, so do not panic. Although this Wednesday felt like a panic. Like I mean, October 1st hit, and everyone's just like, I'm out for this month. Like I'm gonna take this.
It was too much at once. That's really what it was. It was too much at once. You're like randomly in your middle of the day or eating lunch, Trey Benson's on IR. It's like, what the hell?
I was literally eating lunch.
Where did that come from? I bet you were, because it was like, where does this come from? I didn't even know he was hurt. Like, what are we doing here?
Same. We're losing people like flies, but no, Woody's been a bright spot, man, and y'all were both right about him. I think Joe was the guy who isn't he? Is this the same guy who has the most catches in college football history?
The most I've ever seen in a season. He had like 70 receptions last year for USC.
Well, I think he actually doesn't he statistically have the highest catches per any running back?
I don't know. I think we did this and we found out it was somebody else, but whatever. Like I think he was close. I think he was like. I think he was like, it wasn't.
I don't think Chubb's going to go away permanently, but the cool thing is he's at least got the receiving game down, and the Texans outside of the Tennessee Titans are not going to be blowing anybody out of the water. So I don't think we see his role diminish at all.
No, I think if anything, we're going to see this go up in the passing game, and I think fantasy wise, like this is a no brainer in PPR, and I wish we playing PPR at this point. But
he's 5,400.
Before we move past the Texans, especially, I don't think Joe Mixon's playing this season, guys.
No,
I don't think he is. Literally all of the reports are like, yeah, he's like a ways away. It's like, oh yeah, I don't know if we don't have a timetable for it. It's like, okay, this feels like a Christian McCaffrey, except that they're being honest about it rather than
I don't know
they do with him.
They usually there's just reports about it, right? Mixon's back at camp, Mixon's walking, Mixon's at the games. Whenever there's just nothing, radio silence, usually that's a really bad sign. Now, obviously that can be different, but yeah, I think it's time if you have Mixon in a redraft league, I think you're good to drop him. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. I know
100% because by the time he would play, I think you're done. I think it's over for your team. I'm reading the thing right now. It says D'Amico Ryans specifically indicated that Joe Mixon is not ready to return at this time. Per sources, it will be much longer, if at all, for Mixon to get back on the field this season.
And that means Houston's also got to be competitive at the time for him to even want to make a comeback. Like,
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of variables
so
here. And I just think
you have Woody Marks. You hit a lottery ticket. It looks like. I mean, Nick Chubb's still going to be involved, as Joe said, but like you probably got Woody Marks for free, and you're going to get a whole season potentially of work out of him. So that's going to be.
I think
nice.
Nick Chubb's still serviceable though, especially in a pinch. Good bye week fill-in running back. He's going to be nice low floor.
Tank can come back at any time though. That'd be nice for this offense.
Yeah, that would change it.
Anyway,
anyone else?
I think Texans win this game.
Ooh.
I don't believe in Cooper Rush, and this defense is ass.
Yeah, I don't think it's Cooper Rush.
Who's going to win it for Derrick Henry? No.
Texans have a good Baltimore.
No. Okay, time out. Derrick Henry has a huge fantasy game, and then he fumbles it to lose it.
That wouldn't surprise me, but yeah, I think the Texans lose another one. Like I don't know. The Ravens made the Chiefs look like 2022 Chiefs all of a sudden last week, and I was appalled. And I was like, no,
I know
this
they're
can't
dealing
happen.
with injuries on their defense, but I thought they were built for this. Like I thought they were built for injuries. I thought they had like backups. They had their defense on paper. I believe someone coined this at some point where on paper we're really good. Too bad we play the game on grass because that's what's going on here.
Well, it's also they were getting
Tigers, man.
They were getting their ass beat with Roquan Smith out there, with Marlon Humphrey out there. They were getting beat by the Chiefs. So like
and Roquan's got a hamstring, so that's also good for Woody Marks.
Rip.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Texans can't lose that one, I don't think. All right. This right here is a wolf matchup I've ever seen one, but it's the Giants versus the Saints. Now, the Giants do present an interesting challenge with Jackson Dart out there, but the Saints, this might be their only time to win a game this entire season. This is it. This is their Super Bowl. So
Rattler is low key getting it done, dude.
It feels like it, doesn't it? He can't win a game, but it does look like he's getting it.
He's playing good football.
Yeah.
All right, just real quick. Does Wan'Dale become the de facto wide receiver one here? I mean, we didn't see it last week. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are here. Obviously, people rushed out and picked him up. I mean, Slayton's still out there too, probably on waivers. If you didn't, he might be gone in a lot of leagues, honestly. I didn't see a lot of people picking up Slayton this week, though, but I did see Wan'Dale pop up in a couple rosters. I have him in a couple leagues. I honestly don't know what to do with him. I mean, I'm going to hold on to him this week and see what happens, but like, I don't feel good about it. Like, even in this weird week of injuries and everything, Dart did not do enough promising work in the passing game for me to feel excited about playing any wide receiver.
No,
I agree.
I think Wan'Dale is going to get enough volume to be usable, and I think Slayton. I mean, Dart throws a mean deep ball. I know he had Trey Harris last year, but he kind of just chucked it up to him, so I could see him doing that with Slayton in this one.
That's not Wan'Dale's play. You know what I mean? Like Wan'Dale's more of a slot guy, quick slants, fun.
I think Wan'Dale will get like 8 for 40 that he's known for, and hopefully he falls in and gets a touchdown. But
yeah, I'm just sad because honestly, I liked Wan'Dale a lot more when Neighbors was there because he was gonna always be that second guy. And anytime Neighbors got double covered, which should be a lot because if you're playing the Giants, you should be double covered Neighbors. Obviously, now without Neighbors, we're sitting here like, can anyone be that guy? I mean,
I'm intrigued with Bo Collins. I will say he's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's different than every other receiver they have on their team. He probably practiced with Jackson Dart in the preseason, in the offseason. So I could see a connection developing there. He didn't do shit last year. He had a couple snaps last week. But I could see him actually being someone that if you're in a deep dynasty league or something, throw him on the bench and see what happens because something could happen.
Now you put Jameis Winston in that game, and I'm about it. I'm about Wan'Dale, but I don't know. Let's see more from Dart this week. Obviously, he's on your roster. You picked him up off the waiver wire, or you already had him. And you're going to see what happens. See what you got here.
Well, Dart's startable by himself. I don't mind that.
Just because of the rushing upside.
Exactly, because of the rushing upside. And then Cam Scattaboo, they're going to run this guy head first into the line, and he's going to get 3 yards at a time, damn it. And I kind of just love that there's a back like this in the league right now because
he's like Reggie Ray.
Exactly. He doesn't care about getting yards. He just cares about getting contact. That's where he thrives.
I like Scattaboo coming out, man.
I kind of love it. I don't think he's going to have a long career, but like we talked about this during the draft process, that it's not a long career, but the Icarus flash close to the sun thing is going to be
Peyton
incredible
Hillis.
for Scadaboo. Exactly. Well, we're doing that because of the whiteness of it all, but he is going to have.
I didn't even think about that, but I was thinking just of a guy who had 2 years in the league.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's what it feels like this is going to be, but we'll see. I don't know. 25 carries for 79 yards. That's the grindiest 79 yards that you're ever going to get right there. So I guess we'll see what happens with Scadaboo, but gotta love the heart that he plays with for sure.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun game because on the Saints side, I think you can start everyone. The Kamara usage is worrisome.
That's what I wanted to bring up. The thing that we did need to talk about here. Kendre Miller was back with a vengeance. He looked great. I know Alvin Kamara did look great too, but man, Kendre Miller looked really good. Like it did feel like, man, this could be a duo situation at times for them. I don't know. I don't know what to do because if you have Kamara, you're definitely playing him, but I'm a little bit more nervous than I was to start out the season.
Yeah, Miller is awesome. He should be rostered, but he still only played 30% of the snaps last week. So, he pretty much got to carry most of the time that he was on the field. So he could see his role grow, but I think this is a week you can absolutely start Kamara. I'm not panicking on him just yet. I know it's hard not to, though.
Yeah. And then just Shaheed's decent. Cooks, I don't like that. Chris Olave needs to be more, thankfully got a touchdown last week, saved him. But I don't know. I need a little bit more from Rattler, but I like the cut of his jib, as they say.
Yeah. I feel like I hear you say that a lot.
I do.
One other note on the Saints. I don't really wide receiver wise. I don't have any additions there, but Taysom Hill is returning to practice, and we all know Taysom Hill's going to have one game. Hopefully, you're starting him. We'll see when he actually comes back, but he's just a fun guy to watch, man. I did not know he was like 34 years old. Like he's our age. I love everything about that.
Yeah. He could be the fourth on the podcast coming up.
Yeah, hopefully he'll join us one day if he ever stops.
It really makes me wonder why the Packers were just like, no, we don't need this guy at all on our team. This one guy that can play 6 positions.
They couldn't see the vision. No. They couldn't see the vision, Joe. That's the thing. Here's the thing. Scadabo could be that guy for the Giants. Speaking of this game,
I don't know. Can he throw the ball?
He's done it. He did it in college.
All right. Well, maybe
there was literally a bet before the season that we talked about where could Scadabo have a receiving, a passing, and a rushing touchdown. There was a bet for that before the season. So definitely within the realm of possibility.
We shall see.
For sure. I want the Saints to win, but I think it's going to be the Giants.
I'm going to take the Saints.
I am going for the second coming of Jim McMahon. Give me Jackson Dart all day. Giants.
Love that.
This is going to be a really fun game, though. I'm excited.
Do we think either of these quarterbacks throws for over 150 yards?
No. Maybe Rattler, but I do not think
111 out of Jackson Dart last week, 126 out of Rattler last week. It was not a offensive firepower.
The cool thing is this is an even matchup, so it'll be fun. We got a good running back, we got decent wide receivers, and a quarterback that can't throw to them. It's just gonna be fun.
Be a good time. I'm excited to watch this one.
All right, next game on the list is the Denver Broncos versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh.
Josh, what are the Eagles going to do this week?
I have no clue, and that's the coolest thing. I know it's going to make everyone mad and question if they're a good team or not. That's the fun part. So if they lose, people will question like, well, was this 4-0 start a fluke? And if they win, will they be like, is this 5-0 start a fluke? So it doesn't really matter what they actually do. Fantasy wise, the Broncos, obviously great corner, gonna shut them down. The Surtain versus Quinyanamo will be great. Did you guys see the stats on Quinyan? He let up 2 passes for 6 yards or something in that game. I know there were some big plays. Neither were on him, clearly. Got an NFC Player of the Week, which is fun. But so you got 2 really good corners in this league. So now AJ moves around the field, and I'm not sure if Surtain's going to follow him the whole time, but this was a really bad time for AJ to start complaining.
Why bother?
Because what? I didn't hear what you said.
All I said was why bother? Why bother following him around?
Fair enough, right? I mean, he's not even good. So, like, just don't do it.
If they want to
No,
read the same book, I guess, start a book club. I don't know.
I still have this feeling, and I said it last week, that Saquon breakout's coming, and I just it's gonna happen one of these days. And it's like, good news is you're still starting him, so you're never gonna like have him on your bench because like he's still getting 13 points a game. But it's got to be frustrating. Your first round draft pick that you picked number 1, 2, 3 overall, so you're probably sitting there like, this sucks. But like at the end of the day, you should just be happy because some other people out there with their first round draft picks are getting 6 and 0 and 1. So at the end of the day, at least you're getting consistent value. Honestly, the great thing about the Eagles is it's so easy to pick who you're going to start. It's all 4 of them. And then Goddard is actually like really the biggest surprise for me this year. Like he's just been consistent every week and got his little 2 shovel pass touchdowns last week. And I think that's just fun.
I know he popped up on the injury report. Is that a real thing? Or are we doing veteran rest?
Goddard? I don't know. Not Wednesday. We don't count Wednesday rest for Eagles because it's always a rest situation. We start worrying about Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Now your point on Saquon, because Jonathan Taylor had over 200 yards against the Broncos, and Omarion Hampton had a pretty good week, especially receiving against the Broncos. So I think Saquon's going to have a big one, and I don't know. I think AJ Brown personally is going to get fed this week.
We got fed last week. It was just they were bad passes. They threw like 3 or 4 balls to him.
Love this trap.
You're not going to sit AJ. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
You got all these bye weeks and all these injuries. Like, if you have AJ Brown on your team, you're like, unfortunately, you're starting him. Like, yeah, you're just in for the ride. Now, if he does another bad week, you can start thinking about it. But I think it's too early to be worried about it.
AJ's getting fed.
Fair enough. All right, on to the Broncos. I think we can probably say Sutton might be covered by Quinyon. That's probably he doesn't follow.
He does move.
Okay.
He does move. So, but I don't know if he really follows more so than anything. I think he just kind of plays depending on the package.
Fair enough. Mainly with the Broncos, I just wanted to bring up the running back situation. I feel like I know RJ Harvey got a little work last week. He was definitely involved in the game. He got almost as many rushes as J.K. Dobbins. Definitely involved in the pass catching game, way more than Dobbins was. I just don't know if it was real because, man, the Bengals stink.
Yeah.
And I don't know how real it was, guys. I don't think because the thing about J.K. Dobbins is like he's never going to have 25 rushes, probably. I mean, he could, but you're not going to see that often, especially if you're blowing a team out. Definitely not going to get that. So I don't know if the RJ Harvey thing was real. I know people are probably going to start him this week, and I just feel like that's probably a bad idea. I think you just stick with JK if you have him. RJ, I don't know if this is the week to trot him back out there.
The thing is, you can run on the Eagles. Like they're not stop and run like they used to. They're definitely missing. I mean, now they're literally missing multiple offensive linemen. We've had 2 tricep injuries the last 2 weeks, so you can run on the Eagles. I just don't think RJ Harvey's going to get enough in the running game. Like he's going to probably end up paying for it in the pass game because I assume this will at least be a close game, if not one team winning by 10 points or so. But yeah, I think you got to be a little worried about it. Like J.K. Dobbins is that dude. Like you already know you're locking him in each week, and then R.J. Harvey is creeping up on that conversation, and I feel like it's going to blow up in your face one week, and this seems like it might be that week. I'm not convinced Bo Nix is good yet. Like I'm still worried about him.
He didn't. I mean, I like the 300 yards he had against Bengals, just because we don't really see 300 yards a game, 300-yard games anymore. It's just fun to see one every now and then. I do think Marvin Mims is a flex consideration, especially if you're in like dynasty with a large roster. Obviously, I think he's a good play. And then I think if you picked up Troy Franklin to supplement your team in any capacity, I would listen to putting him in the flex spot too. I would listen to it at least. I don't know how consistent it's going to be week to week, but I do think that Bo Nix and him have a connection, and I do think that could mean points at some point in time. All he has to do is score a touchdown, really. I mean, I know that's pretty much everybody, but for Troy Franklin, I think, led the team in targets last week.
One thing to note about Mims, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago where I was like, hey, if he catches one big one and he gets all those kick return yards, he did not return kicks last week. So there is that, and that might be something that goes in the future as well. Now, if he's returning kicks and getting this kind of dose of the passing game, you are starting him. And if you got kick return yards in your league, which a lot of teams do, a lot of leagues do, and a lot of leagues don't. So check your settings. Obviously, every league's different, but a lot of leagues did not account for this kick return change. Like I am in multiple leagues now where I'm starting Turpin, starting Marvin Mims. I can start these players because if they get 3 catches for 30 yards and 150 receiving or return yards, like that's a good game, man. Like, and I'm gonna pinch in a lot of these leagues as we talked about with injuries and such. So Mims now obviously great in the offensive game, but would love to see those kick returns happening too. It makes me feel a little bit better about starting him, but I am excited about seeing him actually utilized in the future though.
Oh, for sure. And Mims is the man coverage killer, and the Eagles play quite a bit of man. So I do think that Mims could absolutely get deep for a big one here. The other thing is the Eagles have given up 3 100-yard receivers through 4 games. So
and it's always on.
I don't think we're worried about it starting the receivers against them.
No, I think they'll be throwing this whole game. Like this game, I mean, clearly could get out of hand. You never know what can happen, but I think this should be a relatively close game. But I think everyone's going to be playing until the end. So,
yeah. Well, and I think everybody, this is just a watching the football kind of thing, but I feel like you give your best shot to the Eagles. It just feels like every team's going to do that this season. So,
well, they won the Super Bowl last year, so naturally you have to.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like every team's going to play their best ball against the Eagles, and so we're going to see if Denver can match that.
A couple shot plays for Mims for sure.
For sure. I'm trying to figure out if this is where the Eagles finally lose, but I doubt it. So I'm going to go Eagles.
I'm going to go Broncos.
Eagles.
If it was home Broncos, I'd probably bet them, but I don't know. Home Eagles, Bo Nix, no thanks. All right, on to the Cowboys and the Jets. Joe, we saw a 40-point game from the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb. Can we see that again against the Jets?
You can see it against the Jets because Dak is absolutely feeding the people that are able to catch the football. I mean, Pickens looked amazing last week. I know everyone went into that game. The Packers had a great defense, and then Pickens and Dak go out there and pretty much just wreck it. So
that's
Pickens
over, by
is
the
great.
Way. I'm done with that narrative.
Yeah,
Green
you
Bay
should
does not have a good defense.
Yeah. No, and Jerry almost looked really smart there, honestly.
One thing I'm really happy about here is, number one, I hate both of those teams, the Cowboys and the Packers, and I was happy that neither one won, which was just a fun little thing. And some guy actually took a picture with, I hope both teams lose, and I mean, what else can you do?
Tie is basically that.
This is essentially that. And I will say the best part about this is this showed that the Green Bay Packers can be beaten by anyone. We saw that the Browns beat them. Everyone just thought it might have been a fluke, that happens or whatever. We've talked up these Green Bay Packers to be a Super Bowl contender. They can lose to anyone. Now, Jordan Love's a good quarterback, not a great one. Josh Jacobs is a great running back. And your wide receivers are an issue. Like we know this. Like Matthew Golden's good. Hopefully, we want to see it. We see a big catch every other game, but that's basically no different than what they've had with Romeo Doubs and Wicks. So at the moment, we still have no number one receiver. That's an issue. They're off this week.
We will get to the Packers in a second because we won't actually go. They're on bye week, right?
Actually.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you're going off on the Packers during the Cowboys game preview. No,
I love it personally.
I can see the red in your eyes about the Packers.
Duck the Packers.
I was tired of hearing analysts and everyone, Micah Parsons. I'm actually shocked Chris Collinsworth didn't talk about him as much as I wanted to. I thought he would at least.
I forgot he was out there for most of the game. I thought, okay, he must be just chilling in one of the boxes watching.
No, but he got a sack to win the game for to put the Cowboys on the map or whatever they said, even though they still tied. Anyway, back to the Cowboys.
But
yeah, their offense is fun.
Javonte Williams, fire him up. The Jets aren't stopping anybody. I love Pickens. I love Javonte. You're starting Dak. Ferguson, I mean, he had lower targets last week than we expected, but he's still a start for you. So fire up your Cowboys if you got them.
Yeah. Turpin also, once again, kick return leagues.
I thought we'd be saying that without CD.
I kind of told you that Dak's not a bad quarterback. You just the Cowboys more than
this team just sucks. I mean, they suck at football. Sorry, I can't.
We were very on Dak Prescott this offseason. We did not expect the defense to be this horrible, so we didn't know he was going to have to throw that many times. But
it's kind of fun. It's kind of like Joe Burrow.
Before the Parsons trade, though. That was kind of last second.
True.
I mean, we
thought,
I don't know.
I still without Parsons, even with Parsons,
Billy did say that they're just terrible. They're a terrible football team.
I thought they were winning 5 games. They are definitely headed that direction. We'll see if they can beat the Jets.
Also, Jerry, are we putting CD on IR? Because for some reason this feels like he's going to be out for more than 4 games, and you're just not going to put him on IR.
It does feel that way, but I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm done trying to understand why teams do this with IR.
They were saying he's looking actually pretty good, so hopefully we'll see him back soon.
I'll be back soon. All right. He's just good. It's good for football.
On to probably the worst team in football. I know the Titans are making a strong case for the worst team in football, but the Jets actually feel like the worst team in football. It's hard watching this team play. Like, they didn't really pass the ball at all in the first half against the Dolphins. It was kind of like they woke up in the second half like, oh, we can throw the ball? That's crazy. I thought that was outlawed for some reason. The run game was kind of working in the first half, and then Braylon Allen gave away the ball at the goal line, which was stupid. It was a hell of a punch. I will say that Jalen Phillips
the first drive for them.
But this team just isn't good. Like, other than Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall,
I disagree with you. I don't think the Jets aren't good. I think they're cursed. Like, I think they might actually physically be cursed.
Okay,
like,
that's
the Braylon Allen punch out
reason too.
All these different drives that Fields was leading them down the field and looking great, and all of a sudden there's a penalty. There's 2 penalties, there's 3 penalties, and all of a sudden it's 3rd and 35. What the hell is he supposed to do there? Like, they can't even get a field goal anymore. They were on the 20-yard line. All of a sudden they're on the 55-yard line. 45. Sorry. Anyway, I disagree. I disagree.
I mean, so Garrett Wilson, obviously he's good to go. He was having a meh day until he caught that touchdown at the very end. Breece Hall is good to go. Justin Fields is good to go. I think you're going to get points there no matter what, because they're always going to be losing, it feels like, with a chance to win the game. It feels like that's the Jets, or they're getting blown out. It's one of those two things. Other than that, though, Mason Taylor looks all right. I don't know.
Mason Taylor's your wide receiver too.
Because there's really nobody else on this team. That's the problem.
13 targets the last 2 weeks.
This team is so bad. He's got a jersey. Same with Josh Reynolds. He's got a Jets jersey. I like how he could trade it at the end of the game and it'd be squeaky clean. It was like, oh, this is an unused Allen Lazard jersey. It's like, no, that's game used. Is it? I don't know. Other than Justin Fields, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson, and then Mason Taylor, other than that, I think the Jets just aren't going to be relevant this season.
I feel like
Braylon Allen is not going to happen.
Saying. Like, I feel like tight ends we shouldn't even talk about, like, oh, you can start because it's like you can start any tight end at this point. I mean, not any, but like it feels like it. It's like maybe this one will work for you.
That's probably true.
Back to Hell's Gate.
I am excited for Isaiah Davis because I liked what I saw out of him last year, and with Braylon Allen now missing time, I think he's definitely someone that needs to be rostered.
Rostered, not started. That is what I would
see a game first. But Breece to the moon all day.
Yeah, especially against the Cowboys. Garrett Wilson, Fields. Oh, this is going to be a great match.
There's going to be somebody in this game that goes off. Like Jeremy Ruckert is going to have like 2 touchdowns. They're going to be like, okay, I guess. That's how bad the Cowboys are.
Write that one down.
Jeremy Ruckert 2 touchdowns.
Just like I'm betting the mortgage on this one.
That would be an all-timer from me.
I say Jets win this game.
Probably. I mean, they can't get unlucky every week, right? I mean, eventually one of these weeks it has to go the other way. So I guess maybe this could be it.
Justin Fields Day, man.
Plus they're playing at MetLife, so that's awesome.
That's actually worse.
Good thing CD's already out.
God, that's trash.
Have to go through this. That's one that's going to be on the lower blurry TV, as we always talk about that game. All right. On to the Raiders versus the Colts. The Raiders are an interesting football team. I don't know if Geno Smith is very good. I don't know.
No.
But the team is very interesting as a whole. So it's kind of like, I don't know. These teams are both interesting for different reasons.
So Geno started out the year so great and then has literally just got progressively worse. And it's just
leads the league.
I guess that's
interceptions.
Not technically true. 2-3 interception games though hurts, man. Like you can't do that and play football. Like, and this team already has enough issues going into it. Like you don't need to be adding insult to injury. And it's the Bears defense, no offense, Joe. The Bears defense got 3 picks against you. That's how bad you were. Like you looked terrible. And you have a good secondary in the Bears.
We just can't stop the run.
It's the principle. Well, it's the principle of the matter. You can't do that against the Bears, who you can win the game with. Like they lost by 1 point, and take one interception away, you win that game hypothetically. Yeah, no, it's bad. Receiving wise, I'm worried. Like you're starting Bowers and Myers, but like I don't want to. Like Bowers, obviously, yeah, once again, tight end. You know,
Bowers, another one popped up on the injury report. Just have to mention it.
Fair.
He's not a veteran, so a veteran rest day for a second-year player is ridiculous.
Good to see Genty get some touchdowns. That's always great, but worried about this team as a whole.
I kind of want to trade Genty if I'm in a redraft league.
Redraft, I would definitely do.
We talked about this because the Bears do not stop running backs, at all. They just we just let them do whatever, and I just don't think the Raiders' offense, like you said, is good. We're not going to see these monster games out of Genty very often. I mean, he might score 2 touchdowns, but he's not going to have 138 yards rushing.
Well, I think Genty can break some. Like he can get a big touchdown here and there, 50, 60. I can see him doing what JT does or what Saquon did last year. Like I can see him being that guy, but at the end of the day, like this team's going to be bad. Like they're not going to be able to give him enough carries to sustain what we want to see from Genty, what we thought we could see from Genty. So I agree. I think Genty is potentially on the trade block, especially after this week. Like, not for the trades that I was getting offered, but like I'm down to trade Genty at this point in redraft.
I think he's still got that real high draft capital. He was the exciting rookie, and he just had a monster game. I think this is the time to capitalize on that and try to get a Jonathan Taylor on your team. I don't know who would go for that right now, but I think you could do it.
Somebody might, especially if you maybe tack something on. Do you guys know who the backup to Geno Smith is?
I was worried about that. That's why I didn't even say it. No, it was
Kenny Pickett. Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett. I know. Well, I'm saying maybe I don't know. Maybe we don't.
Maybe you keep Genty.
Geno. Maybe so. All right. Also, this is a thing for the whole football team, the Raiders as a whole. No more 74-year-old coaches. I'm trying to be ageist here. I don't know if we're trusting 74-year-olds to drive cars. I definitely don't think we should be trusting them to run football teams. Just saying.
What about running countries? Because I feel like we've been on that train for a while.
Yeah, we probably need to back that age off a little bit too. Maybe
we just hit let's start slow. Like we don't need to go straight into like Gen X, but like we could like hit like a 55.
The fact that
I think we could go Sean McVay for president and start that train, and then every president will be young presidents.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
he's an appropriate age. Yeah, I just like. I think once we get over the retirement age of 65, like the minimum that you have to get to, maybe when we go like way over that, we don't need to work. Don't need to give him important jobs. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I don't know if I've watched the Raiders game closely this year. Has he been chewing the gum?
Oh yeah, he's chewing it faster than ever. He hasn't lost a step with the gum. That means he just lost a step with everything else. This roster was a joke, though. We can't all admit that. But at the same time, like I don't love anything about this team going forward.
And the problem is he's got that defense playing good enough that it's always going to be a tight game. It's never going to be, I don't know.
I don't think it's the defense.
Always going to be.
Defense has actually been playing pretty decent.
It's not the defense's fault. No, I'm saying the offensive, the O-line is horrible. That's another part playing against Geno, but the offense is horrible. Offensive line's horrible. The receivers, you can't have Jacoby Myers be a 1. You just can't. I like Jacoby Myers. He's a league winner for a lot of people these past couple of years. Can't be the 1 though. He has to be the 2, like behind Bowers or something. Like he cannot.
I feel like the problem is with the Raiders is he's been the number 1 on that team so long and put up number 1 numbers just because that team was so bad and they were just throwing for fun basically that they're like, oh, we do have a wide receiver 1. It's like you never did.
Well, I understand. It's just like when Devontae was there, he was shielding him, and then Bowers last year was shielding him. This year though, he's the guy, and that's not good. Like it has to be. He can't be the main ingredient to the pie there. All right. Well, on to the Colts, since we haven't gotten to them real quick. They are a very interesting team because the defense has finally not the Raiders defense is probably going to hold Daniel Jones again. Daniel Jones came a little bit back to earth against the Rams. Sounder wasn't very Indiana Jones last week, but
hey, you can't beat Indiana Jones every week. And honestly, the Rams are a good team. Like they're gonna beat them, but
Yeah.
It wasn't like he did bad, though. Like, he still almost threw for 300 yards. I mean, I know a lot of those catch up, but that game was close the entire time. So, and more props to him. Like, you would have talked about this game 4 weeks ago. We would have been like, this is a joke. Rams destroy. Daniel Jones throws 5 interceptions. Now, he did throw 2. So,
I feel like the questionable people, though, for this team are we starting Daniel Jones? Are we starting? I mean, I'm finally starting Michael Pittman. I think you can't ignore what he's done so far. And then do we start A.D. Mitchell?
I'm not starting A.D. Mitchell after what he did last week, dude.
Warren Taylor Pittman. Honestly, I don't know why. I mean, I get the logic of starting Daniel Jones. We saw what he's done, but like, I'm sitting him. Like, personally, I would have never.
I just feel like Max Crosby is going to be standing up with his tattoos everywhere, sacking him for the 3rd time, and I'm going to be like, yeah, why did I do this?
Yeah.
It just
I'm
feels
with you,
like
dude.
that's going to be that.
No, A.D. Mitchell's worth a speculative ad, though. Like, just in case. You never know. This could be more
Definitely
of a
a good bench.
future. Yeah. But
Definitely worth an ad. I just so the Raiders defense has played Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnson, Keenan Allen, Debo, McLaurin, and then Rome, Stephon Diggs. The only receiver that has over 75 receiving yards, Kayshon Boutte in week 1. And that was kind of crazy. And then on running back, the only running back to have over 40 yards against him is Jeremy McNichols when he broke off that big one. So he's played some pretty good running backs here too. So I think we temper our thoughts on the Colts this week. I think Pittman's still a start, but
it's JT. I mean,
you're starting JT, but temper
calm down
the
about
expectations.
but I just feel like that's the best running back that they're going to play against.
Yeah, we played Hampton.
Yeah, but not unleashed Hampton.
No, but
yeah,
they haven't played a bunch of hacks.
They played the one-eyed bandit.
Good to know, though. Good save.
Yeah,
I thought the receiver one was wild because I was just like,
the receiver one is wild.
Dude.
That's
no one over 70 yards
stat,
except for Boutte. Yeah,
that is a solid stat. Colts win the game though.
Colts are going to the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna take the Raiders.
It'd be fun. They're so dysfunctional.
I think this will be a really good game.
All right. Well, speaking of not a good game, Dolphins Panthers is the last game in the noon window. This noon window is a rough go here. Other than Eagles Broncos, the rest of these teams, other than the Colts maybe, like the rest of them, I'm just like, I'm good. I don't know if we need to watch them. But anyway, on to the Dolphins Panthers. So Tyreek Hill, his leg went the complete wrong direction. And so now everyone out there scrambling to find out what to do. Funny enough, though, I don't know if y'all noticed this on your waivers. There wasn't a lot of Dolphin pickups because I don't think anybody quite knows who is the key to this puzzle here. I think everyone's waiting a week, which I think could lead to us actually being able to tell people ahead of time who maybe to look at. So, Joe, I know you're a big believer in you're a believer in Taj Washington, Malik Washington, all these guys. Who is the one you believe in the most? Who's the one you believe in the most?
I like what I've seen out of Malik Washington. He can kind of play that Wandale role and kind of run around. He's not going to do the deep role that Tyreek had. I think that could be Taj Washington. I think, we saw Tua have a really good connection with him throughout camp. So, and last year even. So I think Taj Washington gets some playing time. I'm not saying start him, but if we see his name start popping up in waiver columns and him start scoring some touchdowns, I would not be surprised.
I'm going to answer the question with Tyreek Hill replacement is nobody because nobody can replace Tyreek Hill. So this team has to adapt to this. Hopefully Mike McCarthy is up to it. McCarthy, wrong. McDaniel. McSomething. Tua's going to be bad the rest of the year. This team's going to be bad, unfortunately. It was always lose one piece and it's over for them. That I think it's over for them. Achane and Waddle should be great. But outside of this, like Ollie Gordon might get a little bump personally in the passing game. So we might see some of that, but
I'll say something that I saw a take on Twitter, and at first I thought, man, that's so stupid. But at the same time, I was like, maybe not, though. Jalen Waddle might be a top 15 dynasty asset now for wide receiver. Yeah. It can't be ruled out. At first I was like,
that's what we've been saying for 2 years now. He's trash until Tyreek's gone.
Yeah, so now it's like, gone. I don't know. Like, I think you need to be making offers for Jalen Waddle. If you like, I know the person that has him probably is like, oh, this is finally my chance. But like, honestly, his ceiling might be better than that person thinks it is, and I think you might be able to to sift him off for a player that's like supposedly a lot better, but like I think might actually end up being worse in the long run because Tyreek, I don't care what the agent says, he's not coming back next season. There's no shot that leg clears and is able to go anytime in 2027. I just don't see that. Or 2026, I mean. So it's 2027 at the most. He's going to be 33 or 34 when that happens. I think Jalen Waddle is your wide receiver 1 for the Dolphins now.
Okay, yes, he's the wide receiver 1 for one of the worst teams in the league. That doesn't mean anything to me. We saw what he did without Hill last year. It was nothing. He had double-digit targets one time without him. He ended up getting 740 yards last year. Yes, he missed a couple games, but that was 10 games, 8 games without Tyreek Hill. Like, it's not – Waddle's never been that guy. Like, I want him to be that guy. I wanted him to be that guy out of the draft. I wanted him to be that guy before Tyreek Hill got there. I wanted him to be the guy when Tyreek Hill got there. Without, it doesn't really matter. He's honestly, unfortunately, and I just think this team's bad. Like, they're all fun together as a core, and they're fast it's fun.
I'll give Waddle the pass because of the injury to Tua and the injuries that he played through. So I'm willing to be optimistic about him taking over that wide receiver 1 spot.
This is his shot to show what he can do.
Yeah, this is his shot. Can we see Darren Waller be the new Jonnu Smith?
I can't do it. I saw it. I couldn't do it.
I would say
that's
if they were both the same age, points to Darren Waller, I would say he's the better tight end.
I actually understand why people are rushing to get Waller.
Same
it's not
age,
because of the 2 touchdowns. It's because he came back and got 2 touchdowns. He hasn't played football in a year and a half, and this is the first action we get out of him. Now, I know that one of those the first touchdown was amazing. Like, he looked amazing in it. The second one was a quick slant. It was easy.
Comeback player of the year?
It could be. Like, I mean, not playing for a year and a half. I
wonder what the odds are there.
I don't know, but it's very possible. I mean, if he just even keeps up this, like he could be, if anyone's the fill-in for Tyreek Hill, it's Darren Waller and it's the jump ball. Like they talked about on the broadcast, they have no tall people on this team. They don't really have a tight end outside of him, and their wide receivers and running backs are tiny. So Waller could be that I don't know, missing piece. Obviously it's different than Tyreek, but I'd love to see one of these Washington Bros work out though in the long run, but I'm a little worried about it.
I'd sprinkle a little bit on that, just to see.
Yeah, throw a 10 spot.
All right, on to the Panther side of the ball. I don't really know.
This has got to be the Tet breakout, dude. This has to be the Tet breakout game.
He's been fine this season so far. But
I know, but like we haven't seen the monster.
True.
This might be the monster.
No touchdowns for a 6'5" wide receiver is weird though. Like in 4 games of football. Couldn't have thrown one jump ball to him that actually worked.
Little strange.
Is it because Bryce can't see over the line? Just kidding.
Kyler time.
Part of the problem. Worse than Kyler, though. That's the problem. You can't be worse than Kyler. You have to be as good as Kyler or better. You can't be worse than Kyler. That's the problem.
I bet I could beat him in Call of Duty. I think I could.
All right. Well, I've set that up if we ever meet him. All right. Other than Tommy Tremble, who I think – sure, I'll hear it out. The target share was there last week, but also that game script was insane, so I don't even know what that meant. I don't know. I don't think we just got to throw last week away. We're going into this week brand new. I don't know who you trust other than Ted McMillan and Chuba.
Chuba, speaking of, has a calf injury, and if he's down, Rico Dowdle's worth a consideration. I'm not saying start him, but I'm saying that if he is down, he's worth the ad right now. Not really been impressive, but he's gotten 9-10 carries a game and a little bit of work in the passing game. So
Jalen Coker could be back this week too.
That's true. The Cokeheads, they're finally
Cokeheads are going to return.
We're going to be out of the woodwork this week if he returns.
I mean, it hasn't been Xavier Legette. It hasn't been anyone else on this team. It's not the tight ends. Why not Jalen Coker?
No, I think it has to be.
Still has to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Not the worst ad before the rush.
That's true. I don't know. The Panthers are another team where I'm just
this team is gross.
It was fool's gold what happened at the end of last season. I feel like I said that. I don't know if you guys agreed with me or not, but I
don't know if you said that honestly, but I'll allow it now. You might be right.
I don't think anyone said it. I said y'all
agreed with me.
I don't remember you saying it, so it never happened.
Okay, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
It was kind of like if you're playing flag football with your friends and your friend falls real hard and his leg's kind of crooked and he's like, "No, guys, I'm all right." Everyone was kind of like, I don't
Doesn't
think
seem that
so,
way.
but we'll let you play. We'll think about it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Who wins this game, Joe?
Panthers. I love it.
Okay. How do you let
I
you
agree
get
with
one
Joe.
in? I think Panthers too. Although, wow, would that be shocking if the Dolphins had to lose Tyreek to end up being amazing? That would be so funny.
The curse is
Like
broken.
they sacrificed Tyreek to be good at football. All right, on to probably the best game on the slate for the day: Buccaneers Seahawks. Sam
talking about the
Darnold
Eagles.
versus. I meant okay. You knew what I meant there. Broncos aren't as
No.
good. Bucks Seahawks. It's the old Carolina reunion between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Who would have thought, looking at those two guys in that horrible situation, would end up leading to two of the better quarterbacks in football right now? I really like what the Seahawks are doing. They could have easily lost to the Cardinals, but Sam Darnold has like this calm, cool collectedness about him that actually makes me believe in him as well. So I think Sam Darnold's a start. I think Kenneth Walker's a start. Sharbs came back, looked pretty good.
Sharp's is flex consideration.
Yeah, he's a little touchdown dependent, but he was solid. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the second leading receiving yards in the NFL right now, so that's money. Other than that, though, I don't think you can start anybody with confidence.
Don't do it,
because
guys.
I hear the people out there for Cooper Kupp. It's over. It's just over. He's good for like in real life football for a team, but he's not good in fantasy football for a team.
He's going to be boomer bust. He's going to be like if you have no one else, you can throw him in the flex and hopes to get you 15 points. I mean,
He's a great
Torrey Horton, by the way, another good guy for that.
He's a great.
We saw that dude's snap count just fall off last week after he scored the return touchdown. And no,
yeah, that was bizarre. But I mean, he could at the same time. It wouldn't shock me if he went out there and scored 2 touchdowns. Like, sure,
no,
I'd believe that too.
Yeah, but it's JSN or bust right now. Those tight ends are fun too, but we're not seeing it.
Dude, Arroyo got a bunch of targets in the end zone. That was pretty cool to see. Hopefully we see that continue. So that's something to monitor. I do like Charbonnet against the Buccaneers, though. I feel like they need his grit against the Buccaneers.
Okay. Well, the Buccaneers present an interesting question. Bucky was in a walking boot and crutches today. That ain't good. They haven't been like ruled out or anything. It's not official. Maybe it's precautionary.
Pretty much have no news on it.
It seems walking boot and crutches never feels great to see or hear about for your starting running back. So a lot of people went out and grabbed Sean Tucker. I don't think that's going to amount to much. I think it's going to be the Rashad White show after that. But other than that, this wide receiver group with Emeka Egbuka, is he a top 5 dynasty wide receiver right now?
Yeah. Maybe not 5, but close.
I think we're going to see him fall off at the end of the year. I wouldn't mind trading him in redraft personally. But in Dynasty...
For what reason would he fall off?
I mean, Godwin came right back and played 81% of the snaps and got 10 targets. And then you got Mike Evans coming back here soon.
How many of those targets did he catch, Joe? I mean, I know he's playing the Eagles, but still.
I mean, if you're off for, over a year at this point and you come back, your timing's off. The fact that he still got 10 targets and we saw what Chris Godwin did last year.
I think, when it's...
I like Egbuka, but... I think it's time to trade him.
The fact that Godwin got back so quick, number one, we were not expecting that. I don't know if Evans' injury rushed that, but when we have Godwin, Evan, and Egbuka out there, like targets are going to be scarce. Let's just put it that way. Like obviously Baker still slings the ball, but I'm worried about all 3 of them playing. I want to see obviously at the moment Egbuka is the favorite, obviously getting the touchdowns to kind of take over that Jalen McMillan role. But at the end of the day, he can't catch a touchdown every game. And some of these games are pretty lackadaisical at the end of the day, like without that touchdown or the 2 touchdowns that he had. So no, I get where Joe's head's at, but at the moment you're starting him for now. I mean, that's the fun part. And it's like one more week right now. And then I don't know when Evans is coming back, but, if he has a big week this week, I think that's the time to sell.
I would say he's top 10 in Dynasty right now, but for the rest of this year,
We know he's the future. We know
out.
he's the future
Yes.
in Tampa Bay. But in redraft, like at the moment, like I'm sitting here, like man, I want to get out of this. I have Evans and Godwin in leagues, and I want to get out of it. I want to see some big games and be able to flip them.
That's fair. I'm diamond hands with Ibuka. But yeah, so I think it's Rashad White if Bucky doesn't play, Baker, Ibuka, Godwin.
Yeah. And then the Seattle has picked off every quarterback they've played. They have 7 interceptions already through 4 games. So Baker's in for some trouble with that defensive backfield.
Yes. Well, Baker always has a chance to win the game down late. It's inevitable at this point. It's just every game, it's going to be fourth quarter drive to win the game. And Eagles, he finally couldn't pull it off against the Eagles, but it just feels like the same.
Dude, the fact that they even had a chance at that was just wild. I feel like it was scripted. There was a lot of penalties that went the Bucs' way
first
to get
half
drives down the field.
It was like, man, this is a joke. Well, I mean, okay, if you leave up a 77-yard touchdown and a 72-yard touchdown, that's just going to be.
I'm not even talking about the touchdowns. There was every drive. There was like a 30-yard pass interference or something crazy that just kept the drive moving. And I was just like, I'm starting to get a little questionable, New York.
Of course, if it wasn't the Eagles, maybe those would have been fair calls. All right, I think the Bucs bounce back and win. I don't know. I like the vibes. Bucky's not playing. Maybe it's a little bit, but I think if he's playing, it's good.
I think Bucky's out. Seattle wins.
Yeah, I like the Bucs just because of the scrappiness, but
it'll be a fun game though.
They're both scrappy.
All right, on to the opposite of scrappy. It's the Titans versus the Cardinals. I don't want to watch this game. I'll just be real with the whole audience right now. Tennessee is an abomination of a football team. And I put this on Twitter today. That Seattle Bengals Super Bowl run did irreparable damage to not only the Bengals because it made them give out insane contracts that ruined the rest of the team. It's now also ruined the Titans because their coach wouldn't have a job unless he was the quarterback for Joe Burrow during that Super Bowl run. And he can't coach a quarterback to save his life. This guy, Cam Ward, is worse than Will Levis. And that's not good. Not good at all.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, the stats have Will Levis ahead. Will Levis actually won games rather than what Cam Ward's done. I just don't know what to do.
Cam Ward's been rough.
I
think Ty J. Spears is going to unlock this team though, and he's back this week. So,
like, I know Cam Ward hasn't been good, but like, is it Cam Ward's fault? Like, has he not played?
I don't think it is. At this point,
you got Calvin Ridley practicing with weird glasses where you can only see a quarter of the ball.
I'm aware, like every aspect of this team outside of Cedric Gray getting 17 tackles last week has just been bad, right? Like Tony Pollard's been probably the lone bright spot.
Yeah,
really
Tony Pollard's startable.
It's not even great. Like it's fine, but like Cam Ward, like I feel like we've done this now with like four quarterbacks, and like I'm starting to wonder. Like we saw Malik Willis play really well in Green Bay. Like I'm starting to wonder, like, can Will Levis still play football? Like, could he join a team that has a struggling quarterback right now? Like
Bengals,
right?
Didn't he just have surgery? Or am
I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, like, I'm starting to wonder now if this is just a Titans issue. Like, I mean, Cam's obviously a rookie. Like, let's give him some grace. But yeah, no wide receivers are startable outside of Ayamanor, which is like still sketchy. And then Pollard's like fine, but like we got Spears coming back. When Spears comes back, I'm not starting either one.
Right. No, it was not good that we were seeing Julius Chestnut get targets out there. I was like, man, this is a dark timeline if we're trying to get back in this game. Yeah, Eli Ayamanor is always good for like one crazy long catch a game, and then everyone else, yeah. Like I was hoping for Calvin Ridley to get fed, but problem is if you throw these uncatchable balls, you only go so far with that.
Matter.
I think he's got the back injury and didn't play for half of last game. So
even if he did play, I'm still benching him.
I do like Chig. I think Chig would be a good start. The Cardinals kind of struggle against the.
Once again, as we go back to this, tight ends don't count in this because we just need tight ends to be good.
For sure.
Yeah, and on the Arizona, we got DeMarcado or Michael Carter.
Michael Carter, he's back.
President Carter. Now this is gonna be fun. I recommend not starting either one of these guys, but at the end of the day, they're playing the Titans. So like, I don't know how the split's gonna happen because honestly, neither one really got significant touches behind Benson. So
yeah.
it's pretty like I get if you have to, like if you're in a scenario where you had buys and an injury or something and you couldn't get the backup, like DeMercado's probably the guy, but like Michael Wilson just got to the team last week, and just signed onto the full-time team. So I said Michael Wilson again, Michael Carter. But yeah, man,
we got you.
Rough.
I think it's Carter. I don't think you want to start him, but I mean, DeMercado was their 2-minute back. He's definitely the receiving back in this game.
Yeah.
I don't see them being in a situation where the Titans are going to be. They're playing catch up. So I think Michael Carter is good to just run this ball out.
Michael Carter was good before they drafted Breece Hall. Like he was a good running back, and I'd love to see him be able to have that crack at that again. So we'll see what happens these next 4 weeks. Hopefully you have the chance to sit these guys that you picked up, and then you can see what happens this week and then make your decisions for next week. But if you have to, man, roll the dice. Like I'm going to be rolling the dice on some weird people this week too. So I get it.
So Marvin Harrison is back in lineups now. 100%.
It still doesn't look like he's interested in playing football, but I think with the volume of it all, like I think you still got to play him.
You know,
I think he finally got embarrassed enough last week that it clicked.
It's frustrating to watch him.
Second half of that game was rough.
I kind of like his demeanor though. Like they show him on the sidelines and he's just sitting there like this. And like I love it. I'm just like wide-eyed, like just deer in the headlights look, because that's what he just looks like. He's just sitting on the sideline, like what's going on? Like I need to like do stuff. And I kind of like his demeanor because not everyone needs to be yelling and slamming helmets on the team. Like look at Jalen Hurts' demeanor and look how he plays football. Like, I'm not saying that he's going to be the same level of athlete as him, but at the end of the day, Marvin Harrison needs to be good, and he showed that he can be. And like I think that he definitely gained some trust from Kyler. So they don't really have another receiver, so it kind of has to be good. Like you got Trey McBride and him, and now you don't even have a running back. You're down to your third string, fourth string running backs. So like he kind of has to be good. I think he's startable this week, and if something happens, then you're putting him back on the bench, But you got to believe the targets are going to be there.
For sure.
To completely derail this podcast, we assume it's going to be between the Jets, the Saints, and the Titans for the number 1 overall pick. If the Titans get the number 1 overall pick, what do you do?
Trade it. 100%.
Yeah, get some capital. Figure out this team.
I might doing
I don't think
early.
It's Cam Ward's fault.
I don't either. You need so much more for this team to be good. Like it's going to take more. And I'm doing early draft prep. Like they're the quarterbacks that are at the highest point. I think you can trade. Like I would be trying to snipe those Browns picks. Take both. If they don't get the number 1 pick, take both of their picks. Like try to do that because there's no way they're rolling with Dylan Gabriel and Shador. I think they might go back, but whatever. Like, yeah, they might trade that for sure.
How are you going to draft 2 quarterbacks in a draft and then go back to the well the next year?
Because they made a huge mistake. Like the trade they made was great. Like getting those 2 picks for Travis Hunter, who looks like a bum, like that is a good trade. Getting those picks. The problem is now you got to actually like use them well. And drafting a 3rd round quarterback and a 6th round quarterback, that's not. No, you're just hoping, but no. Go get an adult that can play the position.
They hit on everyone else though. They hit on.
I still want to see Shador
other than the cornerback.
They got Isaiah Bond on this team. I mean, that was a hell of a
their draft actually does look good. And if Shador ends up being anything, who like at the end of the day, like yes, he has an attitude problem, but how many people in the NFL have attitude problems? Like you get millions of dollars to a 20-year-old, they're gonna have an attitude problem. Like we talk about this all the time. If we were handed millions of dollars when we were 20, we would have been doing all the stupid shit that they're doing. Maybe not all of it.
I'd be dead.
Probably so.
Anyway,
good point.
Off track.
All right,
the way to go, Joe.
Cardinals.
Speaking of. I was going to say, speaking of back from the dead, but don't really have a good one for this one. Washington versus the Chargers. The Washington, I feel like we can speed through pretty quick. Jay Daniels is back. Debo is back and relevant. I don't think McLaurin's back this week. I haven't really
he's
heard
questionable.
either way.
He might play. No, he might play.
Okay. Well, if he's back, then that's fine too. And then as far as the running backs go, it's looking like maybe Chris Rodriguez.
No, just don't do it.
Not gonna play either of them. Okay, I mean, fair enough.
None of them.
Not until you get 10. I want like 10 carries from one back and just feel good about it. Like I don't even know if it's happened, but like
Cam Scatterby readily, knocked his head against the wall for 25 carries for 80 yards, so it might not even be worth it anyway. But again, think it's quick. It's 2 wide receivers and Jane Daniels.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, wheels up for the Chargers. That's pretty simple too. It's Omarion, it's Keenan, it's Ladd,
I actually got
it's
a
Quentin
point here.
Johnson.
I think it's time to bench Ladd if you haven't already.
100% time to bench Ladd, unless
Like,
you're in a crazy scoring league like the Fishbowl. Other than that, that scoring's insane. Other than that, yeah, it's time to bench Mr. McConkey.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this in the draft process, or at least the fantasy draft process. Like, I don't know, man. We were worried about this from the get go, and this was pre Keenan Allen, and then Keenan Allen came in. I was doing it because I thought Trey Harris.
Okay, no. It changed because they have Keenan Allen. If they didn't have Keenan Allen, Ladd would still be eaten. But since they have Keenan Allen, he's not going to eat.
Because QJ's out here, the leading receiver on the team. So like
he is, but the targets that are going to Keenan would all be funneled to McConkey. But now since Keenan's out there being the 2, McConkey's not.
How is he the 3 though? That just doesn't make it, none of it tracks to me. It's weird. I mean, I think Ladd's benchable, Keenan and QJ. Weirdly, you can start Quentin Johnston. All props to all the people who kept him the whole time in Dynasty.
Yeah.
Throughout that whole process, because I would have dropped him. I don't even know if I had him on my team. I would have dropped him.
Yeah. Orada Gadsden's a guy to keep an eye on. I mean, he's basically taking over the tight end spot. I just want to talk about Thule getting 4 sacks and getting like 58 points in an IDP league. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty incredible.
Hopefully you started him.
Hopefully you did. I know people didn't in places because he is who he is, but whatever. It was good. Chargers win the game.
Yeah.
Commanders.
All right. Love that for you, Joe. All right. On to America's game of the week, I think. Lions Bengals. I think they probably scheduled this thinking that Burrow would be in the game, and he is not. I think we need to have – I know that this podcast is running way longer than we anticipated, but I think the Bengals are maybe all benchable other than maybe T. Higgins, because apparently he's the only one that can get Browning's good throws.
And T. Higgins did have like a 40-yard pass called back because I think it was a legal man downfield, and it was like a beautiful sideline toe tap. Like, and so I do kind of agree. T's like the only person you can't bench. He's getting the targets, and he's getting the right targets where it's not like deep shots and it's very catchable balls by him. Obviously, he's just missed a couple here and there. Chase is getting targets, but they're all gross. Like I don't think like at what point do we bench Browning? Like he did good last year, like whenever Burrow went down, or 2 years ago. I don't remember when it was.
Well, a coach when it came out and said that they haven't even thought about going to get another quarterback to put in place of Browning, which again is why I'm saying the Super Bowl run ruined this team because this coach is not good. But I think you got to bench.
I can't bench Jamar Chase. I can't bench Chase.
I hear you.
I get it.
I love that for you, but I think you should.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying you should be thinking about it. Like it should be in the back of your mind. Like, dude, I got QJ sitting on the bench, man. Like,
there's no way I will ever do it. I can't physically do it. I will vomit.
Again, I understand because even the app will probably ask you, "Are you sure?" before you even do it. Like it won't. It doesn't do the normal switch. It'd be like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He's playing.
It just keeps switching it back in.
Yeah,
server error.
Exactly. The app's like, no, we don't do this. But yeah, I think after Aiden Hutchinson puts Browning in the ground for the 5th time in the game this week, and Chase is sitting there with 8 targets, 2 catches. It's just like, at what point do we just not do this to ourselves anymore? Like Jake Browning sucks. He just does.
When are they going to see what they have in Taj Brooks? By the way, I mean, it kind of seems like this would be a good.
You
time
say it, Joe. The thing is, Chase Brown. I know he's not been what you drafted him to be. He's not been terrible though because this team stinks. Like they're so terrible. Bad.
He's been terrible.
Okay, he scored the most fantasy points last week for this team.
Okay, because of dump offs, because the team was so bad.
Again, you drafted Jamar Chase in the 1st round of the draft, and he can't even get you.
And you drafted Chase Brown in the 3rd round, and you are regretting.
And he's getting you more points than your number 1 pick potentially.
Sure,
you drafted both.
All right.
I still like Chase Brown. I just think that this team cannot get anything going on offense. So why not try to establish some physical run game, which is Taj Brooks?
But it's not the run game. I understand the Chase Brown. Sure, he sucks. The thing is, the pass game is so bad that if you just load the box against whoever you put out there, they're not getting anything. It's just not going to work. No. Like they have to pass the ball.
Joe, I get what you're saying. Don't listen to Billy.
I'm just saying, have you ever seen a meat tenderizer, Billy? How you just like hit the steak a bunch of times and it cooks better? You can hit the defense a bunch of times with Taj Brooks, and then it opens it up for Chase Brown because they're hurting at that point. You know,
they had 35 offensive plays.
Anyway, we're gonna get off this topic. Somehow, I'm not the one who's in this conversation. All systems go for all Lions. I'm not even a huge proponent for starting Jared Goff. Definitely startable in this one. Gibbs,
Craig
Montgomery
Reynolds
all day.
for sure.
Running backs for sure. Amon-Ra. The only person I'm a little worried about in this game is J-Mo, because if he doesn't hit a deep shot, you're a little worried. He's catching like 3-4 balls a game, and it's not even great as it is. So in this game, maybe J-Mo sits on your bench, but Laporta, Amon-Ra, and J-Mo's probably fine in reality. But I'm just thinking, like, I'm worried about the benching and the no need for deep shots. But there's a chance that they're just like, hey, let's cook them fast. Oh, Gibbs,
Monty.
Easy. I already said that.
Oh, dude,
Goff,
Monty's 5,200 on DraftKings. Highly recommend putting him in your lineup.
That's a good one. Goff is a little interesting too about benching, because like the thing about Goff is you have to have him throw the touchdowns. If they just run
That's
them
true.
like what happened last week, kind of, you're going to be. And if they run up the score, he's not even going to be playing in the game. So like I'm a little nervous about the Goff thing too.
fair.
If you have like Stafford or somebody like I would go the other direction
In a closer matchup. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about that, because that does suck.
Other than that, though, everyone else is good to go. Yeah.
And by the way,
Wyatt,
old St. Louis Battlehawk Jacob Saylor's also getting a couple carries this year on the Lions.
Nice.
For that. Yeah, he got 2 for 11 so far this year. Looking forward to seeing some more, maybe in some trash time in this game.
Would have never guessed. Lions win this easily. I don't think it's close.
Handily.
Yeah.
Would love to see. I don't know who the backup for the Bengals is. Would be interested to know, though.
Is this a Sunday night or is this 3 o'clock?
No, that's 3 o'clock. That's America's game of the week, supposedly. All right. Patriots Bills is the Sunday night football game. I'm starting to like what the Patriots are doing. It's been a slow burn, but it's against what the Carolina Panthers put out there. It looked pretty good. I kind of liked it. What to do about the running backs?
Such an easy schedule, though.
That's I mean, that's also true. They stunk last year, so they're getting the easy one. But
Raiders, Dolphins, Panthers, and Steelers, and they lost the Steelers and Raiders. I don't know, man. Like, let's see this against the.
All I'm saying is I like what they're starting to put out there. The Bills haven't looked amazing either.
It's fun, except for the running backs.
Anyway, what running backs do we trust? We got Ramondre, Travion, and Gibson. It seems like they're touchdown or bust, but I'm guaranteeing you, based on what the injuries could possibly be, you're starting potentially one of these guys. Which one would you feel the best about?
Against the Bills, it'd be Travion, because the problem is if they're up, they use Ramondre. If they need to make it up, they use Travion. And then they just sprinkle Gibson in there to where it just fucks it all up for us fantasy players. But I think Travion's getting more love, so hopefully that continues. And I don't think they're going to be close with the Bills.
You're saying all this, but Travion and Ramondre have like the exact same amount of targets. And Ramondre has more yards. So, like, I honestly, I don't know who the pass catching back is here. Like, they're going against all things they did last year with Stevenson. It's going to be whoever can catch the most passes. So it's one of those two. Gibson's really been more of a primarily just traditional running back this year. And I don't know why, because they have 2 other running backs. And I love Antonio Gibson to death. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like weird that we're not just using the ones we have. Yeah, it's going to be one of these guys catching some passes. But I hate it. I don't want to start a running back against the Bills because they're going to be racking up points. And I'm not trusting that Stevenson's catching balls. And I know Travion's supposed to, but he doesn't seem to be getting them either this year. So,
well, you can run on the Bills. That is a thing. So, I mean, one of these
not
guys
if you're up by 21, second half of the football game, like you're not running.
True. I don't know what the Pats are going to do. Just keep it out. Stephon Diggs, that was nice to see. There's a potential revenge game factor in this one, which is interesting. I think that could be something you could pencil in for interesting. But other than that, I don't know. I think the rest of these guys are going to be week to week. You never know what you're going to get. Like Booty, I think we were all hoping that would be a thing, but I don't think he's going to be consistent enough to start week to week.
No, I think it's Hunter Henry and Diggs as the season progresses.
Yeah, I agree.
What we have.
Henry's been good. I liked him, but again, tight ends start whoever.
It's
The Bills side of things, we're just going with the top Bills. Well, top Bills.
the top Bills.
I meant like the top billing on the team.
That was good. I liked it actually. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious who you're starting here. I mean, you're clearly starting Josh Allen, who's really good.
Yep.
James Cook, who's doing everything and hasn't slowed down yet.
Shocking, by the way. Shocking.
It is
that
shocking.
James Cook is completely doing
shocking?
exactly what he did last year.
You know what's shocking to me? Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
We thought
Dalton Kincaid's the start of the week.
Everyone forgot about him because he just it was just such a split last year between the two tight ends, and this year it is like I don't even know what he has, top 5 tight end at the moment. And Keon Coleman really hasn't done anything since week 1. So the wide receivers are actually a little weird. I'm actually not touching those. I mean, this is a good game for them. Shakir, Coleman, great flex options. I'm not personally touching them.
That's fair.
Crazy.
That's fair. I think this game's gonna be closer than we are thinking.
It is a divisional game, so it could be
division game. I think the Bills win, but I think it's by like 4 points, something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's by much, but I do think the Bills win.
All right, last game of the week, Monday Night Football. This actually could be a sneaky game. I know I said that this slate was terrible for the primetime games, but Kansas City versus Jaguars actually presents an interesting challenge because the Jaguars, as sorry as Trevor Lawrence is, the rest of the team around him is very interesting. I do like, especially that defense. The defense is ferocious. They make so many turnovers out of nothing. And the offense has been just good enough to make, the games go by and to where they can win them. I don't know. I like Etienne. I think he's good to go going forward. I think we can put all Tootin, whoever else, Quint Allen, we can put all that out. I don't think any of that's going to happen this year. It's Etienne's show. Brian Thomas, I'm not loving it, but I'm assuming eventually it's going to course correct. And then I don't think we can start Travis Hunter. He doesn't play enough.
No. And you spend all this draft capital on a guy, and he's not even playing 100% of any downs. It could be different if he was playing 66% on offense and 33% on defense. We're not even using him for an entirety of a game.
Right. And you give up a whole first-round pick for 2. Well, I mean, technically only 1 because you swapped, but you gave up a whole first-round pick for him next year. So what are we doing? What is the now they're 3-1 and they may win this division because the rest of the teams are terrible in the division. Colts are pretty good, but
they could fall off very easily though. This team is not. I mean, the defense is fine, obviously, and you're not going to get interceptions by your linebackers all the time. But Devin Lloyd's out here getting all of them.
True. Plus, they played Seahawks next, which is a tough battle. But
yeah, they're going to have some tough games coming up. But this like you said, I think this can be a sneaky game. Lawrence really needs to figure it out, though. I know BT's getting fed. He's got 32 targets. He's not. That's got to be 15 uncatchable ones, to start. 12.
However, at the same time, there has been some Brian Thomas catches or non-catches that, where you're just like, what are we doing? You're better than. I know you're better than this, so I'm confused at what's going on here. The Chiefs came back last week. By the way. Yeah, I would say, especially if he's down this year, down this week, I definitely think you can trade for him because he's going to get right eventually.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anybody want to talk about the Chiefs? You called spin.
Not really.
Okay.
Give me Rashee Rice.
Yeah, I think it's Rashee Rice to the moon.
Wait, is Rice playing?
In week? No. He's close, though.
I meant Worthy. I meant Worthy to the moon. My bad. That's on me.
Jesus, you guys got me. I was like, I have him in a league just waiting to play. I'm like, all right.
No, just kidding. Yeah, Worthy is the one that I feel really confident in this game. Juju Smith-Schuster is getting close to a guy I think you can trust because it seems like Mahomes trusts him around the goal line, which is important. But this running back group is a hot dumpster fire. I thought it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
So it's really not, though. Pacheco runs for 5 yards per carry every game, but he gets 7 carries. I don't understand it. What if we just
Ridiculous.
tried to give him 15?
I mean, I just don't think he's good enough to play in these games.
What is he averaging this year? 4.0. Yeah, 4.0 this year on 32 carries in 4 games. Like, you're not going to just try it. I'm just going to try. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, they said I think getting some more work this week potentially. So definitely saw him in a couple ads. So if you didn't get him already, or if he's just still sitting there, that was kind of some late news after waiver wires were clearing. So go get yourself some Rashard Smith if you can, just on the off chance that there is a new sheriff in town.
Definitely looking like there might be a new sheriff in town. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this running back room. It's not good. So maybe Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster if you're really feeling froggy. But other than that, I don't know. I don't think
Mahomes.
I can. Well, okay, we weren't going to do tight ends. Mahomes, I don't know.
I mean, in this game, you kind of have to, right? Like, it's the Monday night matchup.
True, but if he only throws for like 1 touchdown, because this defense is pretty dang good, so I don't know if it's just going to be a simple, like, you can't just, Baltimore is horrible, so like playing them is one thing, but playing any other defense that has a pulse is completely different for the Chiefs because of Matt Nagy.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, this passing game does suck. I mean, Worthy's getting his, and Kelsey's always going to get his. So, yeah, I don't know. If you have Mahomes, you're starting him. Is the thing, dude. Like, that's the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I hear you, and I feel bad.
Mahomes or Fields?
Fields, 100%. There's like 15 guys. 150. There's like 15 people I'd probably put before Mahomes and feel comfortable about it.
Probably like 12.
We don't go through the whole list. I know I'm looking at it now. I'm like, Stroud, no. Like, I don't know. Yeah, so I think the Jaguars win this game, interestingly enough.
Chiefs win on a penalty at the end of the game.
I think the Chiefs win this game handily.
Okay, handily. Okay. I love that, Joe.
Handily with the refs.
Points?
Deshaun Watson Lee.
Okay.
Yes.
Woof. All right. All right. Well, we went extremely way over time, which is funny because there was less games this week to talk about. But you know what? We found a way to do it, and I can appreciate that out of us. We got some interesting
dedicated to the hustle.
We're inconsistently consistent. That's great.
That's perfect way of putting this podcast. All right. Well, Possums, good luck in week 5. This is your chance to bounce back if you've been waiting. I think this is a good opportunity to get your team back in the winners column. And then if I'm playing anybody else, though, you all can definitely lose. So that's cool. Joe, get us out of here.
Good night.